Hello, good evening, and apologies for the delay. Welcome to round number 13 of the League of Europe Championship here in Division 5 for the Singapore GP here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. 23 corners awaiting these guys on a 5 kilometer track, and this is going to be something special, and I hope you guys will allow me just being a little bit late to turn my mic on. I literally just finished the D4 race, which got restarted, so we had to just move back the D5 race by a little bit so I can bring you guys the action. And of course, I had to go take care of some business before we actually jumped in, as we just see Smitsky there getting a bit too close to the wall and a bit of front wing popping off. So at the moment we got Sven on a 36.0, and I did keep it on board with Sven, so hopefully you got that lap right there, as we got James chilling in third on a 37.0. Cam came in second on a 36.5. I'm guessing everyone is just making sure they get a lap on the board. A lot of people are still yet to set a lap. We got Smitsky on the mediums. Got a lot of guys out there on track, as we got Dave, who is coming to the end of the first sector. So let's see what it's going to be for Dave. He is half a second down on his time in sector 1, so maybe he'll be looking to try and have another crack at it in the meantime. So gonna have a look and see what is going on in the chat. Bit of confusion about why I wasn't talking. I literally just had to go get a drink after the D4 race. This is the longest race on the calendar in terms of just time taken to complete it. So I hope you all appreciate the fact that I had to go get a drink. I had to. We got support in the chat for Niels. I just want to make sure I did say that right this time, didn't I? Because I usually say Niles, and I got corrected a few times saying it's Niels, not Niles. Got anyone who is on a flying lap in the middle sector. We got Served the Bless, but apparently it says he's on an out lap, so we'll come back to him in a moment. United Bosnia in the second sector now. Let's see what he can do. This track is so demanding on your mind. As he just outbreaks himself slightly. Just goes a little bit too deep there into 10, and that compromises him through 11, 12, and here at 13, the hairpin could be an overtaking opportunity if you get a good enough run. Maybe you have a little lunge down the inside. I wouldn't recommend it though, as you have the DRS straight, as he just goes deep again, just missing his braking point by just a little bit. ST5 puts it in P2 with a 36.5. But United Bosnia are really struggling right now with his braking points. You hate to see it as he comes through towards the final two corners. Turn 22, you just want to throw it in, try and take as much of the inside curve as possible without losing the car. And turn 23, which is class of the turn, but it's pretty much just a little kink, as we got Niels to the line there with a 35.4. Now that's kind of the area in where I was expecting pole position to be, in the low 35s, low to mid 35s. So we'll see if anyone can match Niels now. We got the Ferrari of Dave coming into the pits. We do have the Alpha Charlie of Ibo coming for the final corner on a set of the medium tyres, and this is a track that actually does bode well for Ibo. He's always so clean and consistent, as Camke improves there with a 36.1, jumps ahead of ST5 as we're getting more times coming in quick and sharpest, as we got James just starting his lap. We got the McLaren of Jordan, who I think has also just started his lap as well. But we do have McDutchase coming to the line. Oh, as he is around, he took a little bit too much of the inside curb. And that is McDutchase into the wall, and he needs to avoid getting himself disqualified here, which he has done, and that is good for McDutchase, as we got the Renault of United Bosnia who's going to peel off into the pit lane. As I believe that is Swip about to start his flying lap. So I think the first person on a true flying lap will actually be Jasper, actually, as he comes towards the final two corners. What is Jasper going to do as he comes to the line? DRS wide open, and it is a 38.0. So not bad banker lap there from Jasper. He will be wanting to improve on that. Now Ibo underneath the bridge, where we have seen many crashes happen, not only in real life but also in the league racing community, as Ibo's actually going to peel off into the pits, and I believe the next one will be James as he comes now for the final corner. What is the Mercedes going to do? He's going to put up into 5th place on a set of the mediums, and immediately gets beaten by Smitsky. Smitsky, you remember from last season, had a fantastic Singapore race where he was holding off a chasing XL Ryan down for the final few laps, and he managed to keep Mir Kiran, who is now in Division 4, managed to keep him behind as well. So Smitsky, no stranger to defending around this track, and he could be in the mix to take a win once again. So we'll have to keep an eye on Smitsky during this race, as we got Swip coming through the final few corners. And to the line will come Swip, and he gets 11th, and he'll want to improve on that, just so he can try and get himself into the top 10. I think that's what he is aiming for. Is Jasper still on the lap? No, Jasper's going to peel off into the pits. I believe the next person we'll have will be ST5 about to start his flying lap. I believe Smitsky and James will be on their in laps here. So we'll stay on board with the Renault. He is going to have his teammate ahead, but maybe just a little bit too far behind for Slipstream. We'll find out as we go through. United Bosnia, I thought he was going to give him Slipstream. Hey, slow down. Let's see what ST5 can do. He is on the set of the soft tyres. He is up by just under 400ths of a second. So go for the first sector split just before turn 7 at the end of the DRS straight. 3 DRS zones here. The run from turn 5 down to turn 7, turn 13 to turn 14, and of course the pit straight. Gonna stay on board with ST5 as he comes now into turn 13. Very important not to lose traction on the exit, and of course to not clip the wall on the inside. And he is up by 2 tenths. There's a purple middle sector. Oh, he just gets a little bit of oversteer, runs wide over the line, and that is his lap gone. Of course, this track, it really does favour the Braves. You really want to be attacking these curbs to gain the most time, and of course you want to be flirting with the walls on the exit as well to really just take as much track as possible. So I believe we have the next one to cross the line is going to be Freak Ronk. Smitsky's actually retired in the pit lane. He's had enough. He's calling it a day. And he's currently sat in P6 on the set of the mediums, and is looking good for ST5, Smitsky and James right now. as we come through the final few corners of 3, and he's going to peel off into the pit lane. Well, we'll stay on board with Served. He has got his teammate just down the road ahead, and this could be crucial, because if Niels has to jump out of the way, he may not get the best run as he crosses the line. You know, he may just miss out on setting a lap. But we do have an Alfa Romeo of, I believe that is, yeah, that is going to be Swip, and he's ahead of Sven, who's on an out lap. We've got Stevo, who is on a flying lap, so we'll stay on board with the man in the Racing Point, soon to be rebranded as Aston Martin, and I can't wait for that. Aston Martin, a fantastic brand to have in Formula 1, but to the line comes Stevo, and he jumps up into 4th place with a 36.2, a good lap there from Stevo. We've got United Bosnia, and he improves and gets ahead of James, but I wouldn't say he's safe inside that top 10. James about to set his flying lap as he just crosses the line right there. Who was we about to go on board with? We'll go on board with Jordan, who has encountered some traffic. Does have Served the Bless ahead of him, I believe. Or no, that's Niels. So to the line will come Jordan for his one and only lap, and it's good enough for P10. He did have the ERS there. He could have gone for another lap, to be fair, as I believe we just seen, I think that was, who was that? Was that Flip who just jumped up into 5th? I think it was. It was Flip up into 5th, as we got the Renault of ST5. For some reason, checker flags out for him, and he still ran around before crossing the line. So, Swip. What can Swip do? Oh, he just takes a little bit too much of the inside curve, and that is his session over and done with. He has a Racing Point behind, and it's Fernando Dios to the line, who takes provisional pole position. Now, Stevo, his teammate, is he going for a second lap? He is, but he's going to peel off into the pits. Now we have an AlphaTauri of Ibo. What is Ibo going to do? Ibo to the line. As he comes around the final corner, the man, the myth, the legend, Sir Ibo to the line. And he improves by over a second. Now we have the Mercedes of, I believe that is James, who puts it into 3rd place there, just behind Niels, as we got, oh, it's an absolute car park going on here. A Ferrari, Renault, and a Red Bull chilling with a load of wolves. And I believe that is the, I think that might be the session over and done with. Yeah, I think it is. I think that is the session over and done with. Niels not going to set a better lap, as we got Jasper, I think that is, who is around. And he's going to peel off into the pits as well. Everyone into the pits. So it's Svenos Dios on pole position. And Jasper, what were you doing there, lad? Jasper, what are you doing there? And that is going to be an added factor here in this race. See now these guys approach the pit lane entry and pit exit as well, to be fair. Because the pit exit just as challenging as the pit entry. As we got Dave in the chat, not happy with McDutrace in 10th place, and we're gonna have a look. So the Renaults on a set, the mediums, along with Smitsky, will start on those mediums, although ST5 putting 3 laps onto those mediums. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, so quickly running for the order is Sven Dios on pole position with a 35.1 ahead of Cam K in second place. Guess ahead of Cam K's championship rival Niels in third alongside James in fourth, Steve-O in fifth, Flip in sixth, ST5 on the mediums in seventh, Smitsky also on the mediums in eighth, United Bosnia the other Renault on the mediums in ninth. McDutch Race rounding up the top 10. Then outside the top 10 we got Jordan, Swip, Freak, Cloudy, Jasper, Dave, Serve the Bless, Ibo and Royal Council, who did not set a lap time. Whew. And that is why I do like to challenge myself. That is why I like to challenge myself. Leave it as late as possible to run through all the names. I'm trying to get into auctioneer, and you see. 6.5 and 6.5. So we wait for these guys to get the strategy sorted, and it's an interesting one at this track. The two-stop isn't a bad strategy, especially when you consider safety cars in this race, and there could definitely be some safety cars. The one-stop mediums to the hards, I think, are still the preferred strategy, but it's not a huge difference between the two-stop and the one-stop if you can get clear air. And while we are waiting, we thankfully do not have a lobby glitch like what we did in Division 4, which is great to see. So let's have a look and see what tyres these guys have gone on outside of the top 10. And everyone on the mediums apart from Freak Vronk in 13th opting for the soft compound tyres. So that's going to be interesting. Going to be looking to make moves very early on. And of course we have the man, the myth, the legend, that is Sir Ibo in 18th, going for the long strategy. He's going to play it safe on those hards, and he's just going to cruise to the end. And this is going to be interesting to see how he gets on, as we got Alt Maverick in the chat. Unfortunately not here racing tonight. Alt Maverick, how are you doing, lad? We had a delayed start here in Division 5 due to the fact that we also had a delay in Division 4 with the lobby crash. Unfortunately, no lobby issues so far. I believe D2 was also able to get underway without any issues, so that is great to see. Sven, the man on pole position, ahead of the two championship rivals of Niels and Cam K Mum, as we get ready for the longest race on the calendar. No margin for error. These walls can come at you thick and fast, and it is very easy to chip off a little bit of wing. Safety cars are high here. However, I don't think we will be seeing any rain. It is difficult to tell, as since it is a night race, you can't tell with the clouds of what's going on up there. Hopefully someone can let me know in Discord, so I'll have a quick quick peek. And it is going to be dry, so no repeat of last season. No repeats of last season where it was heavy rain, and we saw Smitsky really battling it out with Kieran for second place. Of course, that was XL Ryan's first victory here in LOE. But here we go to those 5 red lights. The lights are out and we are underway, and it looks like a very good start there from everyone in the background. Could we have any free-made moments going into turn 1? Steve-O, side by side, a bit of front wing flying off. Oh no, a Steve-O around. Steve-O in contact with Smitsky, and around he goes. As we got some more side by side action there. We got Freak and Jordan side by side as they go through the tight turn 5, which really opens up down this straight, and looks like Jordan has managed to get the better of Freak on this occasion. What about United Bosnia? Losing out the Swip. McDutchre's up 3 positions off the start. Great launch there from McDutchre's. And Niels is out. Niels is out of this race already on lap 1. Oh no, and it's a VSC. The championship contender is out of this race, and ST5 just comes to a complete standstill, and that really just backs up the pack. For I hope no one picked up any wing damage. I didn't see no 5-second time penalties pop up, but that is heartbreaking for Niels. Serve the Bless picks up a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags as we wait for the VSC to come to an end as we get onto lap 2 of 31. And here we go, we are racing once again, and it looks like we got the same old time glitch as we always get. But right now I believe Smitsky is the lead runner on the mediums. It's going to be very difficult to see who is where until these times have sorted themselves out again. So apologies if I miss any battles. We do have 3 guys into the pit, so Freak, Steve-O, and Served the Bless. I'm going to go on board with Swip, who has a bit of a train behind him. I think apart from Steve-O and Freak, this is the order that we got. Cam K leading the way ahead of Sven. Bit of a gap back to Flip in 3rd. Smitsky, an impressive start up into 4th place right now. On those mediums, he is going to be going to around lap 12. As well as ST5. That trace all over the back of ST5. So let's see if the man in the Mercedes can get the job done. So we got a yellow flag down towards the back, and I believe that's Royal Council and Ibo getting tangled up with each other. Yes, it is. In fact, the Haas has no front wing at all, and he needs to be very careful here. Personally, I would just let Ibo go. You haven't got the wing to defend, and this is a very high downforce sector of the track. Now DRS has been enabled, and this will help McDutchre's try to get past ST5 on this back straight. All he needs is a good launch, 4th gear over the curb, half on half off, get the traction down, DRS wide open, ERS engaged, which I haven't got up, so allow me to get that up. He didn't have it on for too long, but he's outbroke himself going into turn 7 there, and he's locked up again into turn 8, and this is just opening things up for Swip to maybe have a little peek and see what he can make happen. We've already got a few gaps forming inside the top 10. Cam K is 2 seconds clear of Sven, who is also 2 seconds clear of Flip. Smitsky just hovering around that DRS range, actually closing in pretty rapidly with DRS, so Smitsky trying to get a move on. And then we got this battle for 5th place between ST5, McDutchre's, Swip, United Bosnia, and then just off the back of it you got Jordan and the two Williams of Cloudy Cloud and Jasper. As we got the Williams battle in a sec, let's have a little peek at this. Jasper had a little look down the inside. Oh, he gets very close to his teammate there underneath the bridge. Who is going to run the Williams garage here today? I would not want to be in control of that. As we move on to lap 4 of 31. It looks like Cam K right now just controlling the pace as we got James into the pits. Very early stop, and it's got to be for damage because he did drop down a lot of positions at the start. Right now being shown up by his teammate McDutchface, who is currently in 6th place. Right behind 5th, as got a whole lot of lockups going in to turn 8 there. As look at the train we got right now from ST5 all the way down to Jasper in 11th. That is a lovely train that should provide some tasty battles as we go through. And we do have Neil. Oh, as we got the Renault of United Bosnia there, just tapping into the wall, and fortunately no damage to him. I was just about to say, we got Niels in the chat saying he was brake tested, and that is unfortunate. Not a good day here for Niels. Not going to be gaining no points in the championship right now, as we got Jasper getting through on Cloudy Cloud. So the Williams swapping positions. As we got Sven into the pits, Flip picking up a 3-second time penalty, and this is the thing now. We're getting to the point where these soft tyres are going to have to make their pit stops. 5 seconds the gap between Cam K and Philip. 6 seconds between Cam K and Smitsky. Smitsky has proven that he is good at this track. Last season we saw him defend for his life in the wet conditions when it was going to the, I believe it was still full wet conditions when he was defending, but he was defending for his life for the podium last season. Is he going to be defending for his life for the race win this season? Time will tell. Cam K just cruising out in front as we got Royal Council into the wall, and that is a VSC once again. And I believe that was at turn 14. Very difficult when you're going through turn 14. We're going board with Cam K Mum so we can see what's going on. And yeah, it looks like he has locked up. You see the tyre marks on the floor. Big lock up there for Royal Council, and into the wall he will go. And he said his controller died, so it wasn't a lock up. He's just gone straight on. That is heartbreaking as the VSC has ended, and looks like Cam K may have gained a bit of time. Not a huge amount though. Smitsky just dropping a little bit off the back of Flip. Under pressure now from ST5. When will we see the two race leaders into the pit? As we got Swift there again past McDutchface, who dives out into the pits. Jordan getting through as United Bosnia is also into the pits. And McDutchface gets a 5-second time penalty. Oh no, that's heartbreaking. But we're going to go back up and watch this battle between the Williams and McLaren. Jasper versus Jordan. Can Jasper get through? He's put his overtake on very early. That's just going to unstable him on traction, and yeah, he hasn't got it down the straight. Just couldn't get the traction down to get a good launch. That is unfortunate there for Jasper. Meanwhile, towards the front, Smitsky needs to get past Flip ASAP so we can start chewing into this time between him and Cam K. They are appearing to be on different strategies. Cam K opting for the soft tyre, but is he going to try stretch the softs to go onto a set of the hard tyres, or is he going to go to the two-stop? That is the question now. So I believe the hard tyres, they will last. They will last to the end from here, as we've got James getting through there on United Bosnia, and the Williams there swapping position once again. Cloudy getting through on Jasper. Back up towards the front. Flip is in. Cam K is in. And now we'll see what tyres these guys go on to. Is it going to be the hard compound to the end, or are they opting for the two-stop strategy? And it's the mediums for Cam K. And it might be the mediums for Flip as well. But Cam K is going to come out in clear air. Actually, hang on, this could be close with Sven. Oh no, not close enough. Sven with the undercut there. Does gain a bit of time back on Cam K, but not enough to make the undercut work. So right now we got those who started on the medium tyres out in front, and we got Cam K in clear air for 10 seconds. 10 seconds of clear air in front of him, so he can push Sven 2.3 seconds behind Cam K. And this was crucial for Cam K's race. He needed to get out in clear air to make this two-stop work for him, really, because we got another 6 laps. 6 laps for Smitsky, as I got my dog barking in the background. I do apologise, guys. The dog is going nuts for Singapore, and you can't blame the dog for that. Singapore's a great race. As we got ST5 on the back of Smitsky. These guys are going to be staying out for another 6 more laps, as we got Cam K already taking 2 seconds out of Dave, as Dave is actually going to peel off into the pits. An early stop here for Dave. Into the pits he'll go. We got Cloudy Cloud on the back of Jordan. We'll stay on board with this to see if we can get close enough. In fact, we've also got ST5 on the back of Smitsky. So we got 2 possible overtaking potential opportunities going there. Smitsky covers the inside and moves back over to the line, and that's good defensive work there from Smitsky. Cloudy Cloud not close enough to make it work on Jordan. But Cam K, he has got the lead, but he is going to have to come back through all these guys once again after he's made his second pit stop. However, he will be on fresh mediums compared to these guys on the hard tyres. We've got Ibo. It looks like Ibo may have just hit the wall on the pit entry. That's an interesting dynamic for Cloudy and Jasper, both incredibly close with each other, as we got United Bosnia getting through there on Freak Ronk for the last point paying position down in 12th place. Ibo opting for a set of the soft tyres, so Ibo's going to go around to have some fun, and it's great to see. It's great to see, as we've got Cloudy Cloud all over the back of Jordan. He is pushing him through that final sector, but just doesn't get the launches where he needs them. When he's got DRS, he just can't get that launch, as Smitsky leading the way. However, ST5 all over the back of him. Cam K Mum setting the new fastest lap, a 39.9. It's a sub 140 for Cam K Mum down in 7th place. 7 seconds off the back of Jasper, as Swip actually looking like he may try and threaten, but look at the ERS. Swip has got absolutely nothing compared to ST5 on 70% and Smitsky, who is almost on 50%. Meanwhile, we do have McDutch Tracer on the back of Philip for 9th place, a yellow flag, and that's Cloudy Cloud. Cloudy Cloud's gone. Oh no, is that going to be a safety car? A full course one, perhaps? There is traffic there. But no, no full course safety car for Cloudy Cloud. And the gap between Kamke and Smitsky is 8.3 seconds. And this is crucial because Kamke needs to be as close to Smitsky as possible to make this two-stop strategy work. The gap now down to 7 seconds between Kamke and Smitsky. Yellow flag, and that is for Stevo at the end of sector 2. Just probably gone a little bit too deep. In fact, hang on, that's Dave. That's Dave off. I do apologise. I saw yellow flag with the pink car there, but I did not see the red Ferrari there of Dave, who has wing damage. And he's going to have Serve the Bless right behind him now. Got this train in the top 5. Smitsky, ST5, Swip, Jordan and Jasper, but just behind. 3 seconds off is Kamke Mum. Kamke's done fantastic on this stint so far to get that gap all the way down. As Sven picks up a 3-second time penalty. And that's going to hurt his chances because now Kamke's caught up to the traffic. He is going to have to pick his moment to get through, which means he will slow up, giving Sven the opportunity to close back in. Meanwhile, McDutchface and Philip having a nice little battle for 8th place now. And ST5 still unable to get past Smitsky. We move on to, as Jordan's actually into the pits, doesn't want to hold up his teammate, and he's dropped Jasper out the DRS of Swip, so Kamke's going to have easy pickings here on the Williams. He's got a yellow flag, and I served the Bless off at the hairpin of turn 13. Safety car. And that may just change things now, as we got United Bosnia. Oh, he didn't come into the pitch. United Bosnia making a mistake there. Freak is definitely going to be into the pits. Stevo staying out. That could have been a mistake. Dave, no need to pit unless he's got wing damage. I think he does have wing damage. So Cloud will also continue on, but Freak here getting a free pit stop and a chance to change tyres, and he's gone on to the softs. The hards, mate, the hards, they get you to the end. Lap 11, we have the safety car out, and this is perfect opportunity now for Smitsky, ST5, Swip and Jasper to make their pit stops and come back out in a decent position. Will Kamke follow them in? Only time will tell. But me personally, if I was on a set of the mediums right now, I would be chucking on a set of the hards to go to the end. Look at that, Kamke. He was right on the back of the pack. He really was. Smitsky, yeah, he is going to dive into the pits. A bit of a bait there to try and get other people to follow him into the pits. And Kamke stayed out. Kamke has stayed out on his mediums. Now, this is going to be a ballsy strategy if he can pull it off. Sven's in. Sven is in. What about Flip? Flip stays out. McDutchface is in. ST5 shot to the set of the softs. Oh no! ST5 on the set of the soft compound tyre. Oh, that's heartbreaking. And Smitsky now comes out in third place and will bunch back up to Kamke on a fresh set of the hard compound tyres. Swip, who has managed to jump ST5 serving a 5-second time penalty, but has come out on the set of the softs. Smitsky right now in prime position to take this race win. That gap that Kamke had, knowing that Smitsky would be making a pit stop, has completely evaporated. He no longer has that gap, and he has a lot of work to do if he wants to take this race win here today. Smitsky is looking like he can get a good result here, as could Swip. Jordan is going to be Jordan who will take over the net P3. As we filter through down the order, we got United Bosnia on 5 lap old hards. I believe those can go to the end, but he's got to sort his braking points out. And he's got Sven right behind on a set of the mediums. Mediums, it usually says to pit around lap 12 for mediums. So if we take 12 laps, it'll be lap 24. Can he get 19 laps on these mediums? I think that's stretching it just a little bit too far. Although to be fair, I was thinking the same thing earlier, but I only had 16 laps to do on them. So maybe Sven with his tyre weight can do it. Steve-O into the pits, and that's a smart call, get off those tyres. But that chase now up into 10th place, and this has been a saving grace for James and the Cloudy Cloud, because now they get to catch up to the back of the pack. But it's going to be interesting to see what goes on from this point on. Kamke 5 lap old medium, Smitsky on fresh hard tyres, sorry. ST5, he's going to be rapid at the start on those fresh soft tyres. Is he going to be able to get past these guys though? The plot definitely thickens here in Division 5. Niels, our championship contender, out of this race on lap 1. Kamke, championship leader, currently in first place with 1 pit stop to make. Chose not to go into the hard tyres and the safety car, which would have comfortably gone to the end. Stays out on his mediums, sticking to his 2-stop strategy. Now has all the pressure in the world on him to get himself back up the order after he's made that second pit stop. Safety car is in this lap. There appears to be a massive kerfuffle going on the run down into turn 14. Dave slowing up and getting himself a 5-second time penalty there. But everyone out on the back of the pack. Kamke controls the pace. Smitsky, the person who I believe is in provisional first place right now, he's not stopping again. Kamke and Flip will most likely be making their stops around, I want to say around lap 20. We wait for Kamke to go, and Kamke has gone. A bit of a wiggle there through turns 22, and that may just open things up as we go filter through the field and see if anyone's close enough to making any sort of moves. No one. Actually, Hang on, we got Freak and Cloudy Cloud side by side. Oh, and Cloudy Cloud there losing out to Freak, but Freak is on very, very fresh soft tyres, and Cam K already using his ERS up to a good advantage to get out of that 1 second window of flip. Oh, Swip is down the inside. We didn't see that till very late. Swip down the inside, gets the move done on Smitsky there. Down into 7, and that is big for Swip. Now up into a net first place. As Jasper side by side with Sven, and I think Sven is going to take this position up into 7th now for Sven, as we got Dave dropping down the order. Dave has gone, he's lost it, he spun around. Oh, as we got Freak going straight into the back of James, and that's wing damage here for the Alpha Tauri. We filled our way up through the order. We got McDutt Trace, United Bosnia side by side. Oh, this is going to be great if they can pull this off, but no, McDutt Trace gets through, and so does Freak actually. Freak out of nowhere dives it through, as does James as well. James gets through up into 10th place. All the action on the restart happening in the midfield, apart from the move from Swip on Smitsky, as ST5 gets a little bit of a wiggle on out of the final corner. And on those fresh softs, he needs to start making these moves. These tyres are going to drop off from him relatively quickly. He needs to get a good launch here to get past Jordan, and that's not it. That's not it. That's not the launch he needs. Fortunately though, he doesn't have the pressure on him, as McDutt Trace now on Jasper. Is he going to be able to get this move off? He is down the inside, and into 8th place goes McDutt Trace. McDutt Trace now up ahead of Jasper, and Jasper now finds himself in a Mercedes sandwich, as it looks like, oh, it looks like James has got a fantastic launch. He's going to try it down the inside. Oh, he did have a little luck, but he did just go into the rear left tyre of Jasper, so hoping that he didn't pick up any wing damage from that. He appears to be fine, so James surviving a bit of contact there with Jasper. And is he going to try it here? No, he thinks better of it. So we got ST5 dropping the position to Sven, so Sven through up into 6th place. ST5 dropping down into 7th, and there goes James side by side with Jasper as they go through the sweeping S's of 16 and 17, as DRS has been enabled this lap. And oh, he's going to go around the outside of Jordan. What a run out of the final corner. Sven just got side by side with the McLaren, and the McLaren, there's a bit of contact made, and Jordan's half spun it, but he saved it out of the wall. But he's lost a lot of time, a lot of traction, and now he's going to be under pressure from James. Sven, a man on a mission right now, trying to get his way up the order. Meanwhile, Jordan down into 8th place. McDutt Trace now up into 7th. ST5 with the tyre wear of those softs dwindling away from him. It's going to be a big ask for Sven to be able to keep up with these guys. However, he will be able to go onto the set of the mediums to the end, so that is his saving grace. Sven, it's going to be touch and go if he can make it to the end, as Smitsky tries to look around the inside. Sven dives it around the outside. Can he get this move off? No, he can't. As Swip and Smitsky side by side now. Oh, bit of contact between the two of them, and it is Swip who maintains, and Smitsky there again very close to the wall. Does he have wing damage? Let's open things up now for ST5 to have a little peek. Oh, the action is kicking right off now between these guys battling for 3rd place. Swip still holds it ahead of Smitsky, as we got McDutchase now all over the back of ST5. This should be a simple move into turn 1 down the inside. Absolutely sent, signed, sealed and delivered. But ST5 is going to go around the outside with the switchback. Absolutely fantastic. And they turn to the inside for turn 3, and that is ST5 back up into 6th. But McDutchase will have to DRS to come back at ST5 here. But is he going to have the straight line speed to close in? He's closing. He is closing. And down the inside, as we can just see up ahead, Sven just keeping it behind, but he's gone a bit too deep. McDutchase, and that's going to open things up for ST5 to once again go around the outside with the switchback. But McDutchase, into the wall goes ST5. 2 cars into that corner, just doesn't work. And I believe ST5 may just have a bit of wing damage from that. Yes, he does. Front left end plate damage, and now he's going to be easy pickings for Jordan and James. Meanwhile, the battle for third, Smitsky, Swip, Sven. It is heating up. These guys are battling to the point that now Kamke has an 8-second lead over these guys. I believe Kamke, once he makes his pit stop, will come out around Steve-O. Around Steve-O in 12th, so you will have a bit of clear, but that's a lot of traffic to get through. And it's a big ask, as I said, to see if Kamke can get through all that traffic to get back up to the top step. Time will tell, as we got ST5 into the pit, ducking out. Front wing damage, dwindling grip on those softs. Smart call there from ST5. Can Sven get past Smitsky here? He is closing in. It's going to be... he's not close enough to make the lunge. Likewise with Smitsky on Swip as well. And McDutchase, he is closing in on this battle. He's now been released. He is now up into 6th place. So McDutchase, just starting to close in. Jordan and James and Jasper not too far behind as well. They're starting to close in as well. United Bosnia just a little bit off the back of him. As we got Sven down the inside of Smitsky at the hairpin of turn 13. And that is job done there for Sven. Any damage between them? I don't think so. No, Smitsky appears to be fine. What about Sven? Sven appears to be fine. So Smitsky now from a net P1 down into a net P3. And the gap now 10 seconds between Kamke and this battle for third on track. So I look now at the gap to leader, and yeah, I believe he will come out around Steve-O. 20 seconds, so Kamke will have a lot of traffic to get his way through as James picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is not going to help his causes. McDutchase now looking at the back of Smitsky for what could be the final spot on the podium. As Sven gets past Swip, gets the move done now into third place, and McDutchase gets past Smitsky. Smitsky goes very wide there. So McDutchase now up into 5th on track, but a net podium as Smitsky down the inside. Oh, very close between them, and McDutchase holds on to 5th. So McDutchase now in a net podium position. Smitsky currently in a net P4, I'd say. And Jordan net P5 as he's under pressure from James now. James down the inside into turn 14. Oh, a very tight corner. Very tight corner, but the move has been made. And that's Jasper around. Jasper into the runoff. I think he's missed his braking point. He has completely missed his braking point, and he has dropped down now behind Steve-O, and I believe that would actually put him now behind Kamke. I think it is going to be close as, oh my god, flip into the pits. Now we get to see, now we see just where we can predict Kamke to come out. So flip in the pits. Remember, 7 seconds was the gap between Flip and Kamke, as Jasper is going to go through ahead. What is the gap? The gap is, oh, it is 8 seconds. Okay, so it is possible that Jasper could be ahead of Kamke, as we got side-by-side action with Smitsky and James getting the move done. Smitsky all over the place now. Smitsky dropping positions left, right and centre since he got overtaken by Swip, then Sven, then both of the Mercedes. He's looking like he's dropping off the pace. So as it stands right now, I believe Jasper and Kamke are going to be very close. And we'll find out now, because here comes Kamke into the pits. Lap 20 of 31. A Swip. That's just an unnecessary track extension that you just want to take there. That is unnecessary there from Swip, and that's going to possibly cost him later on in the race. But Kamke is actually he's coming out of the pits right now. I think he might actually get out ahead of Stevo. No, Stevo's got ahead of him. Jasper was close, but Kamke done enough to get ahead of Jasper. So Kamke comes out in 9th place, and he has 16 seconds to make up to Sven, who is currently in 1st. And this is the only battle we have on track right now. Jordan Smitsky and United Bosnia. Jordan actually getting past Smitsky. So Smitsky has just been dropping position after position since he got overtaken. He was in the net race lead, but he lost it to Swip, then lost another position to Sven, then lost another one to McDutchase, then to James. Now Jordan, he is going backwards in this race. We've got ST5 getting through on Dave there for 12th place, and that could be crucial for a final point paying position. We've got Kamke now on the back of Stevo. Expecting this to be a relatively simple move for Kamke with DRS, but when he gets to this battle, the battle for 5th, that's when it's going to get a little bit interesting. Kamke just sticks behind. He's got to be smart about these overtakes. He does not want to get caught up in anything. Down the inside, he goes up into 8th place. As soon as he gets to the back of this battle between United Bosnia, actually these guys have just dropped out of DRS range of each other, so this has actually worked out perfectly for Kamke. Kamke will be able to pick these guys off one at a time now. When they were battling, it was going to be a tricky situation for Kamke to try and work his way through, but now they're out of DRS range of each other, and we got the Mercedes drivers making their way up to Swip, and 9 laps on those mediums for Sven. We do have another 9 laps left in this race. 18 laps he needs to do on him. His tyres are going to be screaming. We are going to be treated to an absolutely fantastic final few laps. As here we go, Kamke going to try around the outside of United Bosnia. Gets a switchback, and up into 7th goes Kamke. as I believe that is Ibo around. It is indeed. I hate to see it, you really do. Swip, McDutchface, James, Sven, Camke. Who is going to win this, guys? We're on lap 23 of 31. I want to hear your predictions in the comments right now as Camke sets a new fastest lap as James just locks up and goes deep there. And actually Camke getting through on Smitsky very easily as United Bosnia into the pits. As we got Flip actually now on the attack of Jasper, and up into 9th goes Flip. So predictions, guys. I'm assuming Jordan isn't going to make it difficult. He's just going to let his teammate go. But can Cam K catch up to this battle for second and pick his way through? These guys won't be as obliging as Jordan will. Right now Sven is in the race lead. However, his tyres are going to start to lose their grip within the next few laps, and the hards will become the faster tyre. And that's going to bring Swip, bring McDutchface, bring James into the mix. And of course we got Cam K now down the inside of his teammate. Job done, up into 5th place. And now Cam has 5 seconds to make up on James, McDutchface and Swip. I've got a yellow flag in sector 3, and that is Ibo into the pit lane. The gap between Cam K and Sven is 9.6 seconds. As Cam K sets a new fastest lap. It is going to be incredibly interesting. The thing is now, Cam K, while he does have the grip in the corners, he's not going to have DRS. And you're going to see that gap. So it looks like McDutchface down the inside of Swip, and he's going to get the move done and up into 2nd place. And James around the outside at the next corner. And the Mercedes boys are now up onto the podium. McDutchface and James getting the move done there on Swip. And now they have the ascendancy to try and hunt down Sven. As that has just helped Cam K close up to a certain degree. I think he gained about a second off that battle. Plus the tyre advantage. We've got a yellow flag, and I think that's Ibo once again. And you can see the gap between Sven and McDutchface. It was starting to close down a little bit. It is coming down ever so slightly. Oh my god, it's down to 3. Oh, Sven has made a mistake. Sven has made a mistake. He has lost. He has made a mistake there. Has Sven or Dios. The gap is now down to 3 seconds, and Sven's in. Did he have a puncher? Surely not. Surely not. So Sven is into the pits, and he's going to make the move on Swip now. Up into the podium positions for Cam K. It is a Mercedes 1-2 right now, and they're fighting. James down the inside of McDutchface. McDutchface trying to come back at James there with the switchback. Unable to get it done. The Mercedes are fighting. The McLaren is closing on a faster tyre. No team orders between the Mercedes boys. I wish we had that in real life. Cam K now needs to be cautious about this. He needs to just pick his opportunity to make the move where it matters. I think a safety car right now would actually... I think a safety car would probably help James and McDutchface really be able to control the pace on the restart. But here comes Cam K. Having a look on McDutchface. Doesn't like that opportunity though, as McDutchface goes deep, and that's going to allow Cam K to go straight on through and up into 2nd place. Is looking like Kamke is going to take all 26 points here today. As McDutch picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, it is James versus Kamke for the race win. And I don't think it's going to be much of a competition here, as James on those 13-lap old hard tyres versus the 4-lap old mediums, DRS. And James does not have the fuel right now to make it to the end. But he's going to have to use every bit of it to try and defend here. But here comes Kamke. He's going to have the DRS. He's going to have the straight line speed. The squeeze from James. And he's going to hold it on the inside. But he goes deep. And that's going to put Kamke in the ascendancy to get the race lead. James back down the inside. A bit of contact made. They've locked. They have locked together. And Kamke now up into the race lead. And I think that is going to be the end of that, unless James can try and fight back on the next DRS straight. Kamke now back into the race lead, and you gotta say Kamke has done fantastic here. Absolutely smashed his strategy. He stuck to it, and he is reaping the rewards right now of the other competitors getting tangled up with each other. As we move on to the end of lap 26, Kamke is our race leader, and he should really stay our race leader unless he picks up a 3-second time penalty or makes a mistake. But Kamke has looked fantastic all evening, so I don't think he will be making that mistake. James and McDutch, I think, will be incredibly pleased if they can keep this double Mercedes podium. As we got Flip closing in on Smitsky. Smitsky, who at one point was technically our net race leader, but got absolutely swamped. And you can just see he's just missing the apex of those corners. He doesn't visually have any wing damage. But here comes Flip to the inside of turn 7, and Flip will get the move done, or will he? Yes, he will. Gets the move done, and up into 6th place there from Flip. As we got Mark in the comments saying, what a comeback. What a comeback indeed. Picked his moments, got himself through the order. And to be honest, we've had a couple of comebacks here. McDutch and James have managed to come back from relatively low on the grid to get themselves up onto the podium. Kamke, he came out of the pit stop, second pit stop in 9th place, was able to pick his way through. A couple of interesting comeback drives. Smitsky, though, he's just gone downhill since the safety car restart, and you hate to see it. Sven trying to look at the back of Jasper now for 10th place, and you got ST5 just ahead. Can Sven get this move done? Not around the outside, not at the tunnel. Thank you, Sven, for thinking better of that one. That could have been very nasty. Right now, McLaren Mercedes are doing a fantastic job for the constructors, as are Alfa Romeo. Oh, that's Flip. Flip has lost it. He's in the wall. He has spun around. Flip has gone. He's hit the curb and he's lost it. He's in the wall. No front wing. No front wing. And that is going to be him all the way out of the points now, I would think. Surely even Dave's going to be able to get a pass. He's got to do a full lap without the front wing. Steve-O there, just down the inside, straight up into 7th. Love to see it. And that is the track limits just being a bit too too hectic. This is why it is not over. Cam K could still make a mistake. Lap 28 of 31. We just saw how easy it is done. Flip just getting a little bit too much on the curb at turn 5, and he paid the price of it. And he's going to move out of the way to allow Sven ST5, and I'm assuming he'll allow Jasper through just before we get to the tunnel. I think, no. Fortunately, no visual damage here for Jasper, but that also could have been very, very unfortunate. As oh no, straight into the back goes United Bosnia. Oh no, Flip and United Bosnia coming into contact there. Flip trying to get out of the way, and he can't even take the turn for the pit lane. And ST5's around contact with Svenos Dios at turn 2. This is heartbreaking at the end of this race for Flip, United Bosnia and ST5. But the gaps have all spread out. There is no battles going on right now, so we'll run on board with our race leader, who's led a majority of the race. And I think this is the way it will be until penalties decide the final finishing positions. But the crowd goes kind of mellow now as we move on to lap 30 of 31. Just 2 more laps of this race to go. It is Cam K who leads a double Mercedes podium as it stands right now, with James ahead of McDutrace. Swip in 4th place ahead of Jordan in 5th. Smitsky in 6th place. Then a Racing Point 7th and 8th. Remember, things can still change on penalties, so we got to keep that in mind. Jasper in 9th. ST5 after that contact with Sven down in 10th place, and Dave up into 11th. And now the only battle that we can really kind of see potentially brewing up would be between United Bosnia and Flip. However, I'm not sure if that battle is actually going to brew at all, because these two are going to go for the fastest lap of the race as they come on to start lap 30. So we'll keep an eye on these two as we move up to have a little look, as Steve-O is closing in on Smitsky, so this could be another potential battle. Just 6/10 he needs to take out of the Ferrari to get within DRS for the final lap. Will Steve-O be able to catch up to Smitsky? He has lost a bit of time, but he is starting to gain it back little by little, and then he loses it again. Very tricky to keep an eye on everything going on here, as it looks like United Bosnia starting to pull away from Flip as they go through the middle sector, not taking the most ideal line through turns 11 there from United Bosnia as he comes into the hairpin. And he could be within penalty distance of Dave by the end of this race, as they are the leaders are now on the final lap. It is a purple middle sector, but you just see United Bosnia going a little bit too deep, not getting the nicest of rotations there through turn 14. As I'll actually leave I'll leave the driver select on Cam K, because here we go. Steve-O closing in on Smitsky. 9/10 of a second is the gap, as United Bosnia sets a new fastest lap, a 37.5. Can Steve-O get past Smitsky for 6th place here? He will have an opportunity with DRS. All he needs is a good exit. Don't think he's got it. But around the final corner will come Cam K-Mum to take a fantastic victory here in Singapore with the Mercedes boys on a double podium as they come through the final corners. Now it's going to be McDutchie ahead of James as we got Swip crossing the line. He'll take on 4th place unless Jordan can jump him on penalties. And he does. So Jordan does get ahead on penalties. Meanwhile, we got Smitsky and Steve-O and Sven not too far behind. Who's going to clear these guys on penalties? And it stays as it is between these guys. And now Jasper around the final corner ahead of ST5. Dave picking up a 3-second time penalty. And that could be crucial because, oh yes, here we go. A little bit of action in the final sector. United Bosnia, Dave Javu, who's going to cross the line in 11th place. They're getting up and personal, and there's Flip not too far behind. And to the line they'll come, and it is going to be a Flip ahead of United Bosnia on penalties. And I think Flip just took the fastest lap of the race as well. So there we go. Cam K-Mum takes the victory, takes 25 points, but it's a double Mercedes podium, and that is going to be fantastic for the mentality of Ryan and McDutchie moving forward as well. So really help out their causes and their battles in the Drivers' Championship. But Cam K on the top step once again, extending our lead massively, as looking like it could be potentially over for Niels. But there you go, Cam K, our race winner, ahead of McDutchie in 2nd, James in 3rd. Then we got Jordan in 5th, Swip in Jordan in 4th, Swip in 5th, Smitsky in 6th, Steve-O in 7th ahead of Sven in 8th, Jasper in 9th, ST5 gets the 10th points playing position. Then we got Jasper in 11th and Flip, who just jumped ahead of United Bosnia for 12th. So United Bosnia does not get the point for fastest lap, and that is the finishing order here at Singapore. And it has been an incredibly long race, an incredibly long night. I think I can speak for everyone here when I think, thank God, Singapore is over and done with. But thanks to everyone who tuned in for tonight's races and all the races across Liga Europe. And make sure next week that you stay tuned, because we will be at the Suzuka circuit for the Japanese Grand Prix for round 14. So make sure you strap in, as we got 130R and the infamous Degner corners. So until next week, guys, I've been Ivory Mike. Hopefully we will have Mark in the commentary booth for us next week. Couldn't make it tonight, but hopefully he's back for next week. But until then, guys, have a good one, and a massive congratulations to Cam K and the Mercedes boys for the podium and race win respectively. Till next week, have a good one.